right, so basically, Shawn, we have to act like we like each other.
Okay. Okay. 16 years old, a buddy and I started a adult entertainment website. And at this time, this is like 1996, 1997 in there. Everybody's on AOL. He was a smart kid. He was a year younger than me. He was 15 at the time. And he goes to the library and just starts getting C++ and Visual Basic books. And he's like, we're gonna buy content from people and make our own site and resell it. And then spam wasn't a huge thing at the time, like spam email. And he's like, we're gonna do this thing, it's called spamming, and I'm gonna build a bot. What we do is we'd say, hey, you can come look at our, adult entertainment website for $3 for 3 days, and then after that, we're gonna bill you $30 a month. You send out 250,000 emails a day, like 0.001% is 250 people signing up. At $3 a day, you know what I mean? Like, you're making pretty good bank as a kid.
If you're making good money, then what stopped you from continuing?
AOL sued me, and then the IRS came after me.
AOL sued you?
Yeah.
So what did they sue you for?
Breaking terms and conditions, sending spam emails.
Dang.
We were cool until he built that bot that spams automatically.
Yeah.
So what this bot would do is it'd jump into the chat room and grab their usernames. Well, their email's just their username at AOL.com. So it would add that, gather up a whole bunch, and then send out these mass emails.
Yeah.
And then AOL changed it, and they're like, oh, now you got to wait 3 seconds before you change chat rooms, and it broke our bot, so we changed it to 3 seconds. And then I remember one night, like, our bot just kept breaking every 5 minutes, and we were literally going back and forth with the engineers at AOL, like changing how fast you could change chat rooms so our bot would send these emails.
So you're like actively keeping it going while they're trying to shut it down.
Yes,
in a way?
exactly. Like, we were literally on the computer with like Mountain Dew and a bag of Doritos, like. Freshman year of college, I started working at the YMCA just for fun and to meet girls. Ended up meeting my wife, so that worked like too well. I'm sitting there working one night, and this dude comes in, and he's like got a trench coat on, and he looks, I don't know, like a detective from the 50s, and he's like, are you Shawn Carlisle? I'm like, oh crap, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he hands me this big file, and it's that lawsuit from AOL. So we had to pay for attorneys and fight this AOL suit. We ended up paying them a huge fine.
And obviously being like that age and getting handed something like that, you're probably freaking out, I'm assuming, right? Like,
oh, dude, like, I had the biggest spending habits. I bought clothes, jewelry, a lot of cocaine. And that's the segue into my next endeavor. So, like, now I got all this debt. Me and my best friend, we started selling weed, and then that graduated into cocaine, which was a little more profitable. But believe it or not, yeah, if you sell dope, you will get caught eventually. Like, that is gonna happen.
Yeah.
My best friend in middle school wore a wire on me on my birthday.
No fucking way.
Yeah, my 20th birthday, and that's how I found out it was him. Because when the paperwork was listing all the times, I recognized June 8th. I was like, oh, that's my birthday. I only sold dope to, I won't mention his name, but only sold dope to so-and-so. It was him I was meeting in a parking lot of a supermarket when, I pull into the supermarket parking lot, and all of a sudden cops just surround me, unmarked cars.
Yeah.
People, they all got their guns out and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, since I was working at the YMCA, I was a camp counselor, and they tried to make it sound like I was moving in semi-trucks of cocaine and selling cocaine to the little kids. And
oh my God.
The prosecutor's son went to the camp, and he really had it out for me. And my first plea bargain was 80 years in prison. I have to serve at least 40 of them. And I told my attorney, I was like, there's no way 60 years old, I'm coming out of prison.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm leaving the country, and if y'all want to spend the resources to find me, cool, but I'm out.
Yeah. Like, obviously at the time, you're not, like, when you're doing all this stuff, when you're selling, coke and, performing all these, crimes and shit, are you thinking, like, you're not thinking anything bad's gonna happen? at the
No,
time,
like
obviously.
you think like, oh, you pay attention to who you deal with. You don't just deal with anybody. You know what I mean? Like there's set rules you kind of follow, and you're like, if you follow these rules, you'll probably be cool. But
Yeah.
somebody's gonna snitch, and that's the way it is. They're gonna get caught doing something, and they're gonna get scared and not want to do their time, and they're gonna tell on you, and that's you gotta account for being snitched on. If you don't, then you're gonna get caught, and that's exactly what happened.
Are you like nervous, or like how do you feel about knowing that you're gonna be in jail for a while?
I just did my time, you know what I mean? Once you realize like a routine, like I slept a lot because, that's how I deal with depression. If
all you
you
can do, really.
stay out of trouble, don't gamble, don't get in fights, don't mess with drugs, because that's what's going to get you in fights. That's what's going to get, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, of course.
time, like just keep your nose clean, do your time, shut up.
Do you regret any of it?
I wish I would have made better choices, but at the same time, like my wife and I probably wouldn't be married because I was a douchebag. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't a good dude. I wouldn't have my kid. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't be who I am today without it. And I kind of made peace with that and like lost my my anger towards the dudes that narked on me. Because like, okay, you snitched on me. This is your fault, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm doing illegal shit too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's my fault too, and I'm not thankful for it, but I can appreciate it and see the positivity in it for sure.
Everything that happens, for a reason.
Exactly. The past few years, I've been a mentor at the Adult Rehabilitation Center in Johnson County through the Sheriff's Department. That experience helped me be able to reach out to inmates and people fresh out of jail in the residential center, trying to acclimate to like normal life again. Like it helps me come alongside of them and just help keep them on the path they want to go and stay out of trouble, and just somebody that they can talk to and vent to. One cool moment is there's a band called Old Crow Medicine Show, and they did that song Rock Me Mama Like a Wagon Wheel that Darius Rucker redid. Well, that was theirs first. Well, they redid a 1920s blues song called Cocaine Habit Blues, and at the very beginning of the song, he says, "We're gonna go up I-44 into Vanderburgh County and get us some of that good stuff." Man, that was absolutely me.
Well, let's burn a little rubber down that I-65 corridor, bring the good stuff down from Vanderburgh County, Indiana. Oh, 1, 2, 1, 2, hell, I'm riding. Shit.
Funny that dude, those guys like made that song, and you're like, when you heard that for the first time?
Oh, dude, like I was like, that is us. Like there's no question in my mind. Like that is 1,000% our cocaine that they're talking about.
So when obviously you have your first kid, are you, is that kind of like, what's the catalyst that makes you kind of be like, okay, I can't ever get back into anything, or was there even one? Was it just coming out of the safe house and being
that was jail. Like I realized in jail, like I'm not like these dudes. I'm different. I don't want to live this lifestyle. Like it's a lifestyle. Like typically if you go to jail once, you go to jail again. Like most people don't just go to jail once. And I made a decision in county, like, nope, like I'm not going back to this. I'm not better than those people. I don't want to say I'm better than them, but I'm going to choose not to live that lifestyle and better myself. A lot of people can't just calm down and chill. You know what I mean? Like I did feel different. And like I grew up in the church, but it wasn't, I'd say, a healthy church. It was Pentecostal. Like people are speaking in tongues and jumping up and down and running up and down aisles, and I thought it was real fake, and I could be wrong. That that's not fair of me to say, but like I didn't get a very sincere experience. So I just thought religion was just kind of something you did and wasn't real. And in jail, I was like, no, God is real, and He's telling me like I can be better than this and do better than this and do better things. And that's when I was like, no, I gotta straighten up. And then when I had my son, my whole thing was like, I'm gonna be present for everything. Like, soccer game, I'll be there. If I gotta miss work or whatever, like I'm gonna be present in their lives, because that was a big thing.
What do you think is the biggest lesson you learned from that whole experience?
The biggest lesson is you know, plan for failure, like plan to get caught and then rethink that decision. Because if you think, oh, am I going to get caught? Maybe you won't make those choices. Like life has consequences.
Yeah, of course.
And
you shouldn't be doing that in the first place.
Yep, you're going to be paying for those consequences. And if your gut tells you not to do something, don't do it. Because that day on my birthday, I just, like, he showed up late for the meeting, which was weird. He had his shirt tucked in, which is weird. I'm just thinking things. And then my gut was like, no, don't do this. But, like, he was like, no, this is your friend selling the dope. I asked him to leave. We met at the YMCA, which was another bad part. Like, he met me right after work. And I was like, let's leave the parking lot. And he left. And then he turned around and was like, no, I'm just going to go back. And then I turned up the radio. And I don't know why, but I just reached up and turned up the radio. My attorney said that's one of the smartest things I could have done because you can barely hear our conversation and us talking.
Wait, so you didn't consciously think, I'm going to turn this up just in case? You just did?
I just reached out and turned up the radio a little bit, like, but something kept telling me, man, something's not right. Something's not right. Call this off. Something's not right. And I'm like, no, you're fine. And then something said, well, I'm at least doing this. You know what I mean? And that helped out so much.
I appreciate you doing all this.
Yeah,
Coming
man.
in and doing this.
I appreciate you having me and doing this. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I think you're going to get some neat stories about people. And storytelling's a cool thing, man. That's how a lot of stuff continues and gets passed around and information. And I don't know that we do enough of it anymore.